Let's talk about the very best Disney books for 2016. Hello everyone, I'm George Taylor from ImagiNERDing, and we're here to discuss what are the very best Disney books of 2016. I've been reviewing Disney books since 2007 at ImagiNERDing and for the past 5 years on Communicore Weekly, and I've done well over 250 book reviews. I always base my ImagiNERDing Book of the Year on a title or titles that I've reviewed and have been released during the 2016 calendar year. And this year we've had some great releases from Disney as well as a handful of really good titles from smaller presses. Let's take a look at my contenders for the 2016 Book of the Year. Of course, these are in no order, and we'll get to the ImagiNERDing Book of the Year at the end. The first one we're going to look at is the Walt Disney Silly Symphonies Companion to the Classic Cartoon Series by Russell Merritt and J.B. Kaufman. And this is a revised and updated version of the 2006 release. And since all of the Silly Symphonies have been released on DVD, this is a great companion to the animated shorts. The first section of the book is a fairly dense history of the Silly Symphonies. And the rest of the book, the largest section of course, looks at each cartoon short in extreme detail. We get the animators, the director, the music, a synopsis, the copyright date, the release date, as well as the cost of the negative. And you can also find notes that are specific to the shorts and the company, whether it was a new technique or a new character that was introduced. This is a wonderful book for anybody who really has an interest in early animation or just the Silly Symphonies. Next up is the Disney Story, chronicling the man, the myth, and the parks by Aaron H. Goldberg. The Disney Story is a very unique way of recounting Disney history. It's a reader, of sorts, that shows us how the media wrote about Disney at the time. Goldberg takes us decade through decade and highlights the major events, which includes films, parks, attractions, personnel, and breakthroughs. Goldberg covers the company, so the starting point is in 1928 with the first Mickey Mouse short, and it goes all the way up through Shanghai in 2016. In between, Goldberg has selected many of the defining moments for the company. It's more than just a recitation of Disney facts. Goldberg also adds his own analysis to the story, which is very welcome. There are also points in the history in which he looks back to help us understand a specific point. The Disney Story really is a treasure simply because of all the collected articles from the news media. And he also has an associated website that offers a look at the full text and scans of the articles used for the book. Again, the Disney Story is a wonderful look at the history of the company, especially seen from the eyes of the media at the time. And I really recommend this book for anybody who wants a good overview of the Disney company, including Walt Disney himself, all the films and projects, and the shorts, and the theme parks. The next book is Drinking at Disney, a Tipsy travel guide to Walt Disney World's bars, lounges, and glow cubes by Rhiannon and Drunky. And yes, that's the official name, Drunky. So someone has finally published the book that everyone has been thinking about doing for years. And I'm talking about the Drinking at Disney book by, again, Drunky and Rhiannon. It's a guidebook from Bamboo Forest Publishing that covers every single drinking location in Walt Disney World. It includes full bar menus as well as tips and tricks for your visit. Shannon Lasky, who did the amazing Going To guide for Disneyland, handled the artwork and the layout of the book. It truly is incredible. Still, the reason to grab this book is simply to have an amazing resource for enjoying libations at Walt Disney World. It's an astounding reference book. It's funny, charming, sarcastic, and slightly sardonic. And Rhiannon and Drunky have a great chemistry together. Rhiannon is sort of like the editor, and they have mini battles throughout the book, which will include a lot of running gags. And it's a book that you're really going to enjoy. And it's not a book about going to Disney and getting drunk and being obnoxious. It's just a guide to the different bars so you can help go beyond the bland and try some of the more exotic. The next book is Maps of the Disney Parks, charting 60 years from Disneyland to Shanghai. Okay, this book was probably one of the most anticipated books of 2016, especially one coming from the Disney company. The content was pretty amazing. It's not what I would have done with the book, but it's pretty darn astounding nonetheless. Noting the table of contents, the book is broken down into 6 major sections that closely follow the operating decades and the major developments. The book is very large, and the publishers took great advantage of the size in order to reproduce a lot of the maps and the artwork for the book. And of course, that's what people want to see. I'm sure most theme park fans have had maps as treasured mementos. And long before we had the internet, I know I can remember just staring at maps of Kings Island and the Magic Kingdom for hours trying to plan my next trip. There were quite a handful of maps that I'd never seen before, and they also offered a lot of preliminary drawings of maps. And it was interesting to see the process of how they went from simple line drawings to fully colored published maps. Again, the Maps of the Disney Parks book isn't how I would have done it. I would have tackled like the Magic Kingdom in one book and shown all the changes that have happened. But they really have presented a beautiful piece of art using all of this Disney art and including a lot of maps I haven't seen before. Definitely a book you want to have. Before I make the announcement about my 2016 ImagiNERDing Book of the Year, I want to talk briefly about a book that should have probably taken the top spot if it hadn't been recalled. The book that I'm talking about was released in September and quickly recalled after a week, and it's the Walt Disney Studios A Lot to Remember. It seems that copies went out for the first week and then stopped, and there's been no official word as to why, but many believe it's the C.V. Wood photo that was part of it. Of course, I think it's the photo of the naked animators on the rooftop that got the book recalled. It's a coffee-style book and gives plenty of room to showcase photos from almost 100 years of history. There are 160 pages, and that offers the casual Disney fan a really good overview of the studio's histories and changes. I do have to say that there's not much new for the Disney enthusiast, especially if you've already invested time reading biographies and other books about animation. Obviously, the authors had to write for the lowest common denominator, which is apparent by the subjects which are touched. And Disney historians will still need to grab a copy of this book, and they'll enjoy the photos, but it's really just a look at all of the different projects that happened over the years, like all the great animation, all the great live action, and the development of the theme parks, and what happened post-Walt. And I really would have liked to have seen more about the studios and the physical plant and the layout. There are some great maps at the back that show you the growth of the studio in Glendale, Burbank, that are just amazing, and I'd really like to see more like that. But sadly, since the book was recalled, it's extremely expensive, and at the time of recording, going for about $450 on eBay and the secondhand markets. So you got to make a decision. Do you want to keep the book, or maybe sell it to finance your next trip? So here's the moment that everyone's been waiting for, my announcement of the 2016 ImagiNERDing Book of the Year. And the award goes to, I'm assuming I'll have a drum roll in here if I can find one. The award goes to Drinking at Disney by Rhiannon and Drunky from Bamboo Forest Publishing. Congratulations. And Drunky and Rhiannon couldn't be here to accept the award, but they did send in this nice video clip to hopefully explain how excited they were about winning this rare and cherished award.
Kungaloosh, this is Daniel Miller, Professor Daniel Miller from Drinking at Disney, and I am so excited and proud to personally accept this award on behalf of myself and Rhiannon.
I'm sorry, since when do you speak for me? No. Also, you left out some pretty important details like the name of the award and who gave it to us. So thank you, ImagiNERDing, for the honor of being named the Book of the Year. I'm humbly thanking you as myself, not Drunko.
Yeah, well, thanks for butting in, Rhiannon, but yes, I'm so excited. Thank you so much. This is the author of Drinking at Disney, Professor Daniel Miller, saying thank you, Kungaloosh, and signing off.
You can't win them all. Well, except for this award, which we did win, so that's kind of cool. Thanks.
I would love to know what's your favorite Disney book of 2016. Remember, it has to have been published in 2016, but it can be any book related to Disney. Leave me your answers in the comments below. Again, I'm George Taylor from ImagiNERDing, and I'd love for you to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with all of your friends so that they know how nerdy we both are. And I'll see you on the next video.